I would say that there are a lot of reasons why you can lose your passion for filmmaking. And one of the biggest ones is not having a clear way to decide if you actually want to work with a client or not. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Jacopo. I'm a 23-year-old Italian videographer that works mainly on documentaries, but also with clients in my city for reels, for YouTube and social content. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 T's that I use to decide if I want to work with someone or not. Let's get into it. Now, the first step, the first thing that I always do before working with anyone is I study them. It can be through meetings, conversations, research. I want to know who I'm actually dealing with. That's why my biggest fear of all isn't a difficult brief. It's a client who changes once we're already working together. So at the brief, he's like a person, he's really happy, he wants to work together. And then when I start working for him, he starts changing into another person. Now, to give you a real life example, I have been working with a client for about a year now. And this guy kept pushing to work together. He turned out to be an incredible entrepreneur who gives me the outline of what he wants and gives me full creative freedom, which is something really important to me. Now, compare it to a control freak client that even like the good videos, he would still kill my creativity because he says, I don't like this, I want that, I want to change the video, I want to change the music, which is something that every single videographer hates. And for the time and money, even if it's a lot of money and not a lot of time, it still like drains my energy and my focus and my passion that I have for this art. That's why the first T is the type of client that I want to work with. I study them, I research them, and I'm completely 100% sure of who they actually are by also asking people around. And once I'm sure, I'm gonna work with them. If not, I'll just move on. Now, the second T is actually the type of content. When I first started out, I used to have no niche. I used to just take whatever job that came my way because I needed money, because I wanted money, but mainly because I didn't really know what I was doing. Now, I know exactly what I want to do with my future, with my life. I want to do more documentary stuff mainly, and also some hotel cinematic travel content. Now, what are my long-term goals? So my long-term goal is mainly to travel as much as possible for work and create content which is either for YouTube or for production companies. That is why I only and exclusively say yes to content that actually grows my portfolio and pushes me in the direction that I want to go. I have been working for this client of mine for the past like year and a half, and I'm still working with them, but slowly, unfortunately, like I don't really want to do this, but I know that I need to. I need to start saying no to more and more jobs coming from them. The client is amazing, the pay is really good, the videos are really easy to create, and I have a lot of creative freedom, but at the same time, it doesn't bring me closer to my goal, and all the time that I spend creating those videos don't help me achieve what I want to achieve. And that is something that I need to actually wrap my hand around and actually understand that if I want to work as much as possible on my goals, I need to start saying no to these kind of jobs. It really hurts me, and I'm not gonna like completely say no to these jobs. Like if I need money, if I need like capital to invest, I am gonna start getting these jobs back, but I'm gonna focus as much time as possible on something that actually helps me go where I wanna go. The only like real exception that I'm gonna make for this rule is that if I have, for example, like a huge car company or brand that approaches me, I am gonna say yes, even if the pay is not like huge, because it puts me in rooms that I wouldn't be in if I didn't accept the job. And also as portfolio, even if it doesn't like directly push me towards what I want to achieve, I can still have that brand in my portfolio, that brand that I worked with, and it's something extremely important still to have in your portfolio. Now, this doesn't happen casually. It usually like doesn't happen that a big brand that reaches out just because you're good at what you do in another niche. But if it does happen, I am gonna say yes to these types of jobs. Now, the last T, and maybe the most important one, is the time spent on a certain project. This is something that I keep repeating to a lot of young filmmakers and young freelancers. Time is your biggest asset, especially as solo filmmakers. Time tells me how much freedom I actually have to say yes or no to a certain project. Now, this doesn't mean that if you spend too much time on a project, you instantly have to say no. I, for example, just signed a 1-year contract with a luxury hotel. It's one of the most prestigious in my hometown. I got booked every month until July of 2027, so 1 year from now. Now, why did I say yes? Despite like the long-term commitment, it's a stable income, the first thing, and all the footage that I create is something that I can use later on. And in terms of portfolio, this is perfect for me because I want to shoot content for hotels in the future. So this is really good, and it was stupid to say no. But personally, I prefer a lot shorter and high intensity projects. For example, with the gym, I work like each month, maybe sometimes I skip a month, maybe I work for just 1 week on a really big project. I never like have yearly contracts with them because I want to have the freedom to, if a big client reaches out in the niche that I want to work in, I would much rather say yes to them instead of being like trapped in like a sort of mouse chase with this client that is incredible, but I don't really want to work with. That's why time in this aspect is not just how many hours you put in a project, it's also what do I get back from the time that I put in it. So like the dichotomy of the two, you need to also understand it and compare it also to the other T's. Like these 3 T's are not just like simple one-liners that you follow the first and the second and the third. You need to compare them and understand which one maybe has a higher leverage and which one doesn't. For example, if I have a like really hard client, like a big company that expects an incredible video from me, but I shoot the content that I want to shoot and the time that I spend on that project is actually like something like a good return on investment, I will say yes to that client. These are not like rules that I put out for myself and are static. I can change them in a way where I just use them to evaluate if a client is worth it or not. Now, boys, obviously, if you find the right client, and I hope you will, you need to know how to shoot your videos and you need to have the right camera. Now, if you're searching for the right camera for you to start or even to continue creating the content that you're creating, I created a video right here. Me, I'll see you in the next one, boys. Ciao, ciao.